This is the start of our adventure.
Soggy.
It's raining.
The idea was simple for today. Leave the house, walk as far as we can in daylight hours, try and have a fun time. I love doing this sort of self-appointed challenges because you always end up seeing so much. We saw deer, pigs, sheep, cows, dogs, cats, squirrels, horses, picturesque villages, valleys of bluebells, mushrooms, and countless other things that would have taken me too long to read out. For now, enjoy our day out and consider doing it yourself sometime. You'll be glad you did, albeit maybe a few days after the aching stops.
Hiya Robin, good morning. How are you? Oh.
Hello. I'm an invisible man with my green apart from my trousers.
Where's he gone? It's a beautiful spring day, viewers. You can see blue sky, you can hear the birds. Toby's found some mushrooms. Oh yes.
And here.
Look at that. They look quite
Moist.
yeah.
Get in.
Mm. Right viewers, where I live there are a multitude of care homes. There's 5 or 6 I can count within a square mile.
That's extreme.
And we were just thinking of a way to make them more appealing. We've sort of devised a system where you give them a lot to do. Obviously you give them games and you take them out for days out and stuff, but you could also have a big garden where you have to have 5 square meters per resident, and you've got waist high beds so that they can do garden things without having to bend down and crick the back and stuff. What else?
Well, even if they don't want to do the gardening or allotmenting, they can just sit and enjoy the birds from outside, or if they don't want to do that, they can sit and enjoy it from their window.
Give them a few pets as well, maybe a mole or 2.
Yeah.
Keep them busy, you know. They'll plant their things, the mole destroys them, and then they have to do it again, and it's like even more fun.
And you could have a little like fishing pond, even if it's not proper fish, it could be like hook a duck type fishing.
You just put plastic fish in there and they'll be forever trying to catch a fish. First footpath of the day. It's very relaxing walking in light rain. You know, when it's not so heavy that you don't have to have your hood up and you can't hear anything, but just like a light pitter patter on your cap. It's very therapeutic. Wow. That was good.
Plop.
That was a good 8 out of 10 plop.
More Daldina concentrica type mushrooms. They are beautiful concentric rings.
Could you get eccentric rings?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. 2.5 miles in, we've got our first hill. It's that hill there with all the trees on. That's called Dindor. Dindor was a hill fort years ago. I don't know any other history about it, but very nice. Never been up it, will today. Hey, look, a little white tail. Here we are, viewers, our first hill. This is Dindor, and then down there, the view of Hereford. We're in the industrial side at the moment, so not as pretty as it can be, but if you focus over there, you can see the cathedral. In an attempt to do a long distance walking challenge, it was probably a slight blunder to do on the hills, but here's what it is, eh? Well, right off the bat, I was not expecting our first woodland to be this nice. There's something so relaxing about walking through trees in the rain, even more so when you've got mist and bluebells. We meandered through here before popping out into the open, overlooking what probably would have been a nice view of Dindor or Home Lacey, but for obvious reasons they're a bit hidden at the moment. Look at the lambs. Hey, hiya. How you doing? Anyone that's grown up in the countryside will know the smell of old farm machinery, especially the tyres, is just lovely. Oh, my camera's very dusty. How have you managed to get so dusty?
Hello. Poop.
Found some cows, viewers. Some little cows and some big cows.
No babies.
Oh, it's a Welsh collie.
Hi. Hello.
If you're watching this not from the UK, a lot of our footpaths go straight through farms and sometimes through people's gardens, and it's a bit strange sometimes going through them, but more often than not it's not an issue. That's a bull there, so we won't be going through that field. We'll be going around and through the next one because I'm not going near a bull. That field was well avoided. They've got cows, calves and a big ass bull. I'm more than happy to take the little detour and go around. Better to be sensible, eh? It's our first bit of scrambling and fence bashing of the day. Oh, hang on, you're caught on barbed wire. LLL, I'm gonna rip your jacket.
That's the one. You've done it.
5 miles in and we've successfully dodged our first set of cows, although later we won't be quite so lucky, as you'll find out.
We found it, but at some cost.
The view from the top of our second hill was particularly nice, looking over to Wales on my left and the rolling hills of Herefordshire and Worcestershire on the right. Also, a lot of people don't seem to like the smell of rapeseed, and can't relate, stuff smells great.
Through the gate and onto the fields of rape.
Very pretty house viewers. We've got a nice willow tree,
Shed in the garden.
very traditional farmhouse. The rain's picked up a slight amount and it got a bit colder, so the jacket is back on. We're about 7 miles through, so just over a fifth of the way. Energy levels are high, PMA is high, and we are not far away from Ross really in the grand scheme of things. What's your latest idea?
Do an extreme delivery one. You can walk these farm ways on their bridle ways with a little towable trailer between us. We can have one handle each. Fill it with Easter eggs and beer or whiskey and deliver it to the farmers and see if they're happy with that.
There you go. That's if you want to donate, please do so somehow, and we'll give farmers nice things. If you're a farmer, let us know what you want, apart from like loads of money, because I can't do that.
Pheasant calling.
It sounds pretty bad.
I can't do it.
What size of that house view is?
Tree and the blossom there as well.
It's huge.
Magnolia leaves also are edible.
Must be like, oh, I've got to slow down again. Today we've seen rabbits, sheep, deer, cows. To add to that, piggies. Come see the piggies. Hiya. Hi. Wow, made you jump.
Hello, piggies.
It's a mighty nice day, viewers. It's not a sample. Just pick it up.
Got a pencil.
Cool.
And objects you put in it to say that you've been there, I guess.
Oh right.
And Pokemon cards.
Wow.
And a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Steal them.
Shall we?
Yeah. Just throw it away and steal all the content. Hello, you join us about 10.5 miles in, I imagine. We didn't really go into Horwithy, we sort of went around it, but anyway, we're near Horwithy. Now we are probably 3/4 of the way to Ross, so I'm looking forward to getting there and having a nice big pasty and a coffee. What do you think you'll get in Ross?
I might just eat my cheese puffs.
Oh,
But we'll
boring.
see what's open, I guess.
At this point, energy levels were good, with regular top-ups of fizzy cola bottles, fruit and plenty of water. With these long walks, I always think it's a good idea to have something to look forward to, whether that's a coffee stop or a pub, but basically just pop them in at strategic points where you think you'll need a bit of a boost, which, as you'll find out, we definitely did.
Reached the bouncy bridge. Harry will demonstrate. Oh, it is a wibbly wobbly bridge. Wow. Oh my.
You can see very clearly through it. Jesus, it's so sketchy. Look at what's holding it up. You're stuck now. I've put the gate in the way. Oh.
Silly geek. Nice church over there, though, mate.
Go on, come through. Open the gate. No, no, you're not allowed to do that. You have to open the gate. You have to open the gate. Oh, for God's sake. I squished it in there.
It's like a rice farmer.
Got to inspect everything that might house mushrooms.
It's like a little home in here, look at it.
Oh, there's a dead cow in it. So it turns out the calf wasn't dead, which is obviously good news. However, the bad news is that we now had several cows that were quite upset with us walking down the field at quite a brisk pace. Well, sit rep viewers. There's a calf over there. There's a calf over there, and he's been rounded up over the fence by these mums, who seem to be quite upset with us.
There's another calf over this way, and his mummy's come. There's one in that tree there. But we can't really get over the fence towards anything safer. So we'll see how we get out of this one.
I know. I'm not chasing your calf, don't worry. I'm going this way, alright? How the hell are you going to get through there?
Well, that was awful. Got lots of cuts and stings all over us now. Having long hair makes it a lot harder because all the thorns get caught in it and stop you from getting anywhere. But when you've got a cow facing at you, worried about his calves, you kind of need to get out of the way. Luckily I've got my Swiss Army knife to cut some of the thorns, but it's not really that much use against a whole bloody bush of them. But hey ho, we made it, we're okay.
So, since being chased by the cows, I managed to get quite a clean escape over the fence. Toby, as you will have seen, had to battle through all these brambles and stuff. And in that, he's lost his watch. So, he's going back hunting for it. I will be surprised if he finds it, but yeah, we'll see. I think this walk is going to be a late one now.
I don't know what the odds are of finding it. We know whereabouts I had to come off, but I don't know whether it came off on it or before it was. We went back into thick bush. First of all, we went looking in the wrong part of the bush, chopped down a load of bush for no reason. Now we found it, but at some cost. But at least we found the watch. It does seem to be broken, but we'll fix it, at least we've got it. Look at this bastard, just sat there lounging with his little legs out.
Well, after that slightly eventful field crossing, we were back on the move, passing scenic ponds, neatly manicured fields, and yet more cows. The next few miles involved Toby smacking some mushrooms, reciting some Welsh train announcements, and filming churches, of which there were many. Soon enough, we were crossing a dual carriageway that is, I you not, the actual way the footpath goes, and into Ross and Y for coffee and cake.
Okay, coffee's been completed. Nice town, very busy. It's a bit full of old and specialist people who have no clue as to what's going on. They just do their own thing and get in the way and stare at you strangely. Oh, his little Rudolph nose there. Look at those. Beautiful.
In terms of how we're both feeling, I'm pretty decent apart from my hip. Seems to be like cramping a bit. How are you feeling? All tip
Muy
top?
bien. My socks are sweaty and my shoes are waterproof so they get sweatier.
Lovely. Mine are fine because non-waterproof shoes.
With holes in.
Yeah, with a developing hole in the top. See? There. It's extra ventilation. Look at how scenic that is. Lovely. Got swan and some geese on it, and there's another one on the other side, but you can't see him at the moment. Wow, isn't that nice? Do it again.
Waterfalls.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, that is actually quite nice. Wow.
We've got fields of rape. There's a kite above us.
Wow, look at it.
Hello, mate.
21 miles in, and we're going to stop for a sandwich fairly soon. It's about, I don't know, 3 o'clock? Is it 3?
10 past.
10 past 3. So it's definitely time for lunch. We still have about 2 hours left before we get to the pub. Spirits are high.
Just write myself a message in my quill. Hello, you
Going downhill is the only time now where my hip really feels sore. But other than that, all good. That is crying out for a rally stage. Look at it.
Love cars.
How good is that? What you want? Panda 4x4 along here, mate. Absolutely, you come zooming up here, and then straight down that road. I don't know if I can convey how scenic this is, viewers. It's lovely. Little path, no one on it, swans, birds, bright yellow fields. It is so scenic. Do you mind?
Try again.
Trampling on everything. Look at how many bluebells there are. I've never seen so many in such a small space. Look at them. Look at it. Just bluebells as far as you can see. We are at about mile 24. The only mild discomfort I have now is just under the ball of your foot. It's quite hot. Feels just like a lot of moving around. How about you?
Mine's the exact same on my right foot and a slight rub on my left heel.
So not too bad really. 2 more miles and we'll have done a marathon. Not a bad spot to have a quick rest and a bit of drink.
Yeah.
Look at the view through there. That's postcard material. Got some absolute scenes going on. Just so wet. My socks were good this morning. They're not so good now. All this material's all frayed just from constant rubbing. Inside the shoe it looks okay. I'm not sweaty, it's just they've just worn away. I've got no padding there anymore. There's only one thing you do when you're lacking motivation, and that's get a stick. Because what else are we going to do here apart from count steps?
Count steps, we're on 49.9, so nearly on 50,000.
Wow.
About here at the marathon distance point was where the fatigue sort of started. It wasn't so much that you were physically tired, but more that if you sat down, all of your muscles would begin to realise they're knackered and seize up. So the only thing for it was to keep walking and try not to stop, which lasted long.
You'll be glad to know, viewers, that we've made it to the pub. This is 7 miles away from home, so this is by no means the end of the video, but we've got cider and
Sadly, I went for an aqua.
Despite this though, there's not much I'd rather be doing than wandering through the countryside for the whole day, finding animals, some finding us, mushrooms, various nice smelling plants, and being able to experience every hour of the day outside. When you're doing these walks, they seem fairly insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but one day you'll be sat in a care home or in your bungalow and you'll be telling your grandkids about the time Grandad knackered his hip walking 30 odd miles. They may just ignore you, but it's nice to know you're not the only pensioner without a story.
There's a bit of sun setting, but we're getting closer and closer with every hobbly step.
As the day drew on, we covered mile after mile, edging closer to home, watching the sun slowly set and the light rays push their way through the wispy clouds. The roads were fast but dull, so at the first opportunity we diverted off them to walk beside the river that we started at.
It makes us about 20 past 8, which is coming up to 14 hours of being outside.
It's 8:30 p.m. It's getting pretty dark. You can see the bridge that we went over at the beginning of this walk, which means we are approaching Hereford again. We're almost at the end. Not done yet, folks.
We're still gonna get home with the Chinese now. Get Harry's getting fish and chips, I think. Chinese is secured. Now just have to hobble home. We made it home. It's nearly 9:20.
What time did we start?
What's about 6:20. So what's that make? 15 hours outside. A bit more than predicted. Time for food.
There you go, people. 34.27 miles, 62,000 steps, 2,800 feet of ascent. That is my maximum, honestly. I was limping.
I did 66,000 or something like that, so I'm much better.
See you next time.
Yay!